It's, it can be difficult, it can be intimidating, but you have the support of the school. You're not alone. こんにちは。私はホアンパです。コロンビア人ですが、カナダから来ました。Hello everyone, my name is Juanpa. I was born in Colombia, but I live in Canada. I came to Japan about 6 months ago, and I'm here for a year. So I'm a university student in Canada right now, and I was looking for opportunities to study abroad, and I was awarded a scholarship to spend a year in a country of a language that I don't know and a culture that I'm not very familiar with. So in my search, I wanted to really challenge myself by choosing somewhere that was very different from what I'm used to and what I know, and the culture and a language that's very different to my own. And so with that, I chose Japan. I thought that I've always thought Japan seems like a very beautiful country, but I truly didn't know a lot or anything at all about it. So it was a good opportunity to really challenge myself, to learn something new and to kind of give myself the challenge of really picking up the language. When I was looking for what schools to pick, I had a variety of criteria, but I think mainly I really wanted a chance to actually practice the speaking and get feedback on the spot. And GenkijACS is one of the only schools that really has smaller classes with a much more personal sense to kind of the way they run things. So there's a lot more opportunity for you to connect not only with the teachers but with the staff. I had found online and read and spoken with people who had previously come here that the teachers were very welcoming and very friendly to talk to even outside of class. And that's why I picked it. I just wanted to have a more personal environment to learn. The primary staff that's in charge of the onboarding at GenkijACS is surprisingly just extremely responsive. They're very, very fast with all of their responses. They're very helpful before you get to the school and once you get to the school. I had a lot of questions. When I got here, I even said, oh sorry, maybe I was a little bit annoying with a lot of very detailed questions, but even with that there was no problem at all. They were super helpful. So anytime that I was even slightly bit confused, they were very helpful, and it was always a guide there to kind of take you through the process. The support staff at the school are extremely friendly and are always happy to have a chat. Many times that's really all I needed, just someone to chat with, whether it was to practice my Japanese or not, and they were very open to do that. If it is not just a chat but to have any actual questions you may have, anything regarding the school, they're super helpful, and anything regarding if you have any questions about where you're living or restaurant options or activities, or I was particularly interested in getting to know people outside of the school, like local Japanese people, and looking for events and activities where I could do that. For anything like that, they were super helpful. Finding a barber to get a haircut, anything and everything that involves living in a new country can be very scary and very daunting, but the staff are extremely helpful, extremely supportive, and just genuinely really nice to chat with about anything of that sort. I really liked the teaching method. I thought that first off, it's structured in a way that, again, I came here with zero Japanese. I didn't speak a word, and they teach it in such a way that it makes a lot of sense as you're gradually learning, and then when you go out and you actually apply it, you surprise yourself with how quickly you're learning, but how they're teaching you the right things at the right time. Again, I come back to this, but the small groups really do allow for the teaching style to be more personal. You have a chance to talk every single class. If you don't want to talk a lot, you don't have to, but someone like me, I love chatting, I love asking questions, and the teaching style really allows for that. Obviously, every teacher has their own kind of format of going about it, but for the most part, classes are drawn very freely, where you're using the concepts that the teachers are teaching and implementing, but you're applying them to real kind of day-to-day conversations. So you're not just regurgitating lines, but you're actually learning how to apply the grammar and the vocabulary into your day-to-day life. In terms of accommodation, again, they're very helpful to figure it all out in terms of what you're doing. I personally did the homestay option. So that is where you get placed with a local Japanese family, and you spend time with them. You kind of get a chance to really apply the language. And the staff were very, very helpful to figure all of that out. My personal piece of advice would be, if you're comfortable with it, to try and strive for the homestay option, just because it is the best way to get the language kind of really working. What I found was I had some classmates who, outside of class, they never really used the language other than when they were in the school. And I personally got to use it every single day after I left. So I got a lot more practice beyond the 4 hours a day. So I do encourage you to do the homestay. If for some reason it doesn't work out, again, the school staff are super helpful on figuring that out. I think that at the beginning, especially for me, because I didn't know anything about, I really came with nothing. I didn't know the language at all. I didn't know anything about the culture. I didn't know anything about the country. And it can be very intimidating, especially at the beginning when you're trying to figure it all out. But it's really not, because you have the support from the school. It makes it very, they're very welcoming, and the intimidating kind of aspect of moving and kind of trying new things out really goes away because of the comfort and the help and the support you get from the school. Some of the advice I have, and this isn't just coming from me, but this is really encouraged by the teachers, by the staff, and everyone at the school, is don't take what they teach you and just use it at the school, but really make the effort to apply it outside of the school. Because as much as the teachers can help you and the staff will help you, and the learning and the kind of really memorizing things and becoming really comfortable with the language comes from using it on your own life, day-to-day life, and outside. So it can be intimidating to go to places and try and talk to people, but I would encourage you to really do get out of your comfort zone and push yourself and apply what they teach you. And then when you come back to the school, talk to the teachers about it. And that's what I did. I would come back, and every day the teachers will ask you, how's your weekend, or how's your week, or whatever, and I would tell them about, oh hey, these concepts that we learned last week, I tried applying them over the weekend. And sometimes it's a good topic to laugh about because you completely messed it up, and sometimes it's a moment to say, hey, you know what, I'm proud of myself. I was able to apply what you taught me, and then the teachers they'll help you improve on it even further and go deeper into the topic. So that's my advice. That's what it's been like to live here. It's it can be difficult, it can be intimidating, but you have the support of the school. You're not alone.